So, in the tutorial on blending colors, I've decided not to do it on skin tones because everybody does tutorials on skin tones, so you can find what you need elsewhere. But I'm gonna start with doing her vest here, corset or whatever it is. This paper I'm using, the Aqua Bee marker, bleed proof marker pad, is my favorite. This type of blending technique also works on Nina Solar Crest white and Copic pure white illustration paper, not the natural white because that stuff's too thin for this business. So what I've already done is, I know her vest corset thing is going to be a dark red, and so to choose my colors I did a little bit of a test down here on the blending. I decided the colors I want to use are RV21, R27, R59, and RV69. And so that's what I used to get this look down here that I wanted to get. My lighting I worked out on the original sketch back in the day when I drew this, and so I know exactly where I'm going to lay my shadows down and everything. La la la. Okay, so I'll just get going. What I usually do is take my lightest color, and this is by no means Copic law, it's just how I do it. Take my lightest color, and I just want to fill in this whole corset thing. When you get into the bigger areas, you can work kind of in a circular motion, and you avoid the streaks. I never found streaks to be a problem myself, but, you know, what do I know? Even if the first layer is streaky, for whatever reason, you can not worry about that because you're going to be going over it with so many other layers, and every new layer is going to sort of reactivate the under layers, so all the streaks get blended away in time. But it does help to work in sections, like she's got the two sides. If I was a smarter person, I would have done the one side first and then moved on to the second side. But no. Not terribly concerned about this looking really smooth because you actually won't really see much of the pink after. Most times I find it's best to work light to dark with Copics, but any marker really. But sometimes you'll find it just works best to go dark to light. Okay. Goofy looking pink vest. Next, I'm going to take the R27, which is cadmium red, and I'm going to block in my shadow areas, I think, is what I'll do. And do that real smooth with it's easiest with a brush, of course, but you can do this with things like Prismacolors and other ones like that. I'm not worried with it being too streaky or anything. It'll all be blended away. And I like to leave a bit of a reflected light under the darkest shadows so that it doesn't get too dark in some areas. It's easier to turn the paper than bump the camera. swapping things. And then I'm going to go in back with my pink and just kind of soften this out a little bit. Light colors will push dark colors around. That is why you can use the, well, partially why you can use the blender to erase your markers. But, yeah, good to know. Now I'm going to go in and make all this kind of redundant with R59. I'm going to work in the shadows again, but going over all the really, really dark ones right now. See, I'll leave the pink along the edge there. Should have done it there. And now I'm going to go back in with the R27, which has kind of just become my lighter color, and go over the whole thing. Kind of seems redundant, but had I worked out the shadows initially with my darker color, it would have been much easier to, or much more difficult to correct any mistakes or things I didn't like. And I'm not much of a pre-planner when it comes to most things. And that's the same reason I made the pink be the initial sort of light color. For one, I wanted to make it a little bit pinker than the bright reds, but if I had been using this color to do that initial layer, I wouldn't have been able to fix it so easy. Okay, now we're all red. It's starting to be more like the color she's going for.